So I'm going to talk a little bit about this company that I have, Syyn Labs, and some of the work that we do, and some of the lessons that we've learned. I'm going to show you a bunch of the work that we've done, and along the way, maybe show you some behind-the-scenes stuff that's really rarely, if ever, seen before. In fact, I'm going to show you a lot of things that nobody's ever seen before about our experimentations, our processes, our failures, our disasters, and there's, unfortunately, a lot of them. But it's going to be, I think, pretty fun because most of the stuff we do is pretty crazy. So first of all, who are we? We're a group of engineers, scientists, designers, obviously, but we're also storytellers and creatives. We love to tell stories with physical stuff. We are, of course, in the commercial space, so we're all about building brands. Generally, we're hired by companies that are looking to leverage the audiences that we can gather for their own nefarious purposes, but we're happy to be whores in the interest of commerce. We've been called the League of Extraordinary Nerds by a Fast Company, but we're also often known as a drinking club with an art problem. The typical design process, and I'm sure you're all very familiar with this now as you've progressed in your studies, is of course to first you plan, you execute that plan, you evaluate its success, you adjust as necessary, and you iterate until you have something that wins, right? We do things a little bit differently at Syyn Labs. We plan and we execute, of course, but then the first evaluation is something on fire? If it's not, then we adjust and we iterate. If it is, then it's awesome, and we do it again. We do a lot of Rube Goldberg machines, which probably shouldn't come as any surprise. A Rube Goldberg machine is perhaps the most complicated way to do something simple, something that can be done in 1 or 2 steps. We try to take 85 or more. We try very hard to make things complicated in an elegant way, using unusual objects, or I should say typical, familiar objects, but in very unusual ways. And that stretches our creativity, and it creates often somewhat captivating results. So I imagine most of you has probably seen this video. This is a music video we did for the band OK Go for their video, This Too Shall Pass, and I'll roll that so you guys can in a little bit of detail, and I'll show you some interesting little Easter eggs, some hidden secrets. There's an extra, the band is in there, of course, all 4 members of the band, but there's also a 5th guy that you can only see in like 4 frames, but if I show it to you, you'll see him plain as day, one of our PAs, who got caught in a weird position. His job was to clear a box that had fallen up. You know what? I'll save it for later. I promise. I'll get to it. So a few frequently asked questions about this crazy thing. 89 unique interactions with 85 takes over the course of 2 days. We actually only had 1 official shoot day, but we all came back a second day because after 45 takes, we didn't have it. And so we had to come back a second day and do another 40 whatever to make it work. We ended up getting it actually completely, the second take on the second day, but we decided we were already there, let's spend it getting it better if we can, right? So we spent the rest of the day doing it right. We ended up getting 3 successful runs. We went to Home Depot more than 100 times. We've spent a lot of money at Home Depot, and thrift stores, it turns out, are great places to get pianos and TVs. Old TVs you get for like 20 bucks, and they smash really good with sledgehammers, except the old ones. It turns out the older the TV is, the harder it is to smash with a sledgehammer. Who knew? We destroyed 1 high-heeled shoe when one of our engineers, Heather Knight, came back from dinner. She was dressed really nice for dinner. She took off her shoes, bless her heart for coming to work after. She just threw off her pumps in the corner with some other junk, and another engineer came along and went, that would make a really nice trigger. And before she knew it, he'd screwed it down onto a thing, and the heel made this the perfect little hook for this quick release. And anyway, we destroyed more than 2 pianos and 10 TVs. We actually destroyed 3 pianos in the end. The 3rd piano was a player piano. And it was so heavy. We're dropping the piano like repeatedly onto the floor, and it's the 2nd floor. And when it would hit the ground, like all kinds of things all over the floor would go off. And so we realized that the player piano, which weighed about 3 times as much, was probably a bad idea. So we saved it. We kind of had it, and then at the end, when we were taking everything out, we had to destroy it in order to get rid of it. And that was awful. That was so much fun. All right. So what's the process in making one of these machines? Well, the first process is to identify the initial path. For me, the initial path started when I was a kid. I wanted desperately to be an actor. I was begging my parents constantly. You know, they were saying like, "What do you want for your birthday?" I'm like 11, and I'm like, "I want an agent." And they're like, "That's a stupid gift. We're not getting you an agent for your birthday." Anyway, I kept going after them over and over and over again, and finally they relented. They were out of town. They didn't want me going on auditions. They totally screened it. They were really very sweet, but they really didn't want me doing this as a career. But they were out of town one week. My parents were gone, and the phone rang, and it was my agent, and she asked me if I could be at Universal Studios the next day at 3 o'clock, and I said, sure. I was 13. I called my friend whose older sister drove, and I begged her. She said, sure, and before they knew it, my parents had come back, and I had been cast in a TV show on NBC, a show called It's Your Move in like 84, 85. But then, of course, you have to understand connections in the role of chance. For me, then I went on to go to real school and leave behind acting in favor of working in, to some degree, pretty straightforward corporate jobs, doing a lot of IT work. I did some work in the software development industry. I worked in video games for a while, running a video game company that was taking Korean-based PC games and turning them into sort of something that was more palatable to a Western audience. I helped start a genetics research company. We were looking at the thoroughbred racehorse genome. That's a whole other talk I won't bore you with. And while I was working on that, I started an event in downtown Los Angeles with some friends called Mindshare LA. And this was kind of like a mini TED conference. We'd have people come out and do like 3 or 4 20-minute talks. And we'd have like 400 people in the audience. They'd get all drunk and happy and hang out with each other. And part of this event, we would actually invite some of our friends who were artists, builder, creators to come and bring some of the stuff they were working on. And we started learning sort of what worked in an environment, like what encouraged social engagement, what was, you know, what things worked and what didn't really. And about, I don't know, 5 or 6 months into this, I realized that this was a company, that the idea of creating interesting, interactive things tickled me from a creative perspective, and it also, I think, had value for the public marketplace. And I think that, you know, sure enough, I think these years later, it's proven to be correct. People love interactive and immersive experiences. And so that's sort of where we focused. The first, of course, was that video that I just showed, but there are many other examples as well of things that we've done since that are of that, and we'll continue down that path. So I'm going to show some, throughout the rest of the talk, I'm going to show some experiments and failures. This is one of them from the OK Go video itself. This was that very first table. This was our first attempt at that first verse. So we learned a lot from that. First of all, I mean, aside from the fact that it was janky, it also moved too fast. It was really hard to follow the action. Even if we had a good camera, it also changed in distance a lot. So it wasn't just moving left or right, but your sort of plane of focus was constantly shifting from the foreground to the background, and that made it very hard to follow for a camera in particular. I mean, forget about if you were there. It's hard to follow if you're there, but a camera in particular had a very hard time following it. So we ended up scrapping that entire table with 4 days to go and completely rebuilding it to what is finally in the final video. Here's another piece.
So you're doing on the bell, right? When the morning comes. When the morning comes. When the morning comes. Boring. When the morning comes. When the morning comes.
Believe it or not, that last one's the one that made it. We did a lot of, by the way, I don't know if you noticed the fish jumping. That was our shark jumping. We were jumping the shark. It was our terrible visual pun. It was stupid. But we did it a lot. You notice also a lot of the first ones, Damien, who actually the lead singer of the band, was calling out when the morning comes, and we were releasing the shopping cart right on the. Even this far into the video, we had to be that kind of precise with exactly when things were going to happen. In order to make the video hit, beats to hit, even late in the game, mostly in order for it to end on time, everything had to be lined up with that level of precision. And the way that we did it, of course, 65 people were working on this video. The way that we created that level of precision was that we had basically assigned sections of the machine to individual teams. It was really the only way to get this thing done. We had to move in parallel. We couldn't move linearly. It would never have worked. So what we did is we basically broke the machine up into sections based on the song chunks. So, first the quiet intro, then the music intro, then the first verse, then the chorus, then the second verse, and the chorus, the bridge, the final chorus, the final verse, in order to be able to break the song up into discernible chunks. So we'd say, okay, this one is 17.2 seconds. We need to start here, and you're going to get the input from the previous guy. It's going to be a push. So you get a push that's 3 feet off the ground. From there, you have to cover, say, 12 feet. You have 17.2 seconds. Do whatever you want in those feet, but at the end, you have to give the next guy his output, which is a pull, say. And so that was how we broke up the machine into chunks. And sometimes we had to figure out ways to connect them that weren't planned, but for the most part, that was pretty much how we did it. And that allowed us to keep our path consistent as expected, because our camera path was planned out way in advance as well. So we had to move throughout the space in a certain path and at a certain pace, and with things happening on the beat in order for that to happen. So people would, clip their song, their section of the song. They would play it over and over and over again to their module, so that their module would work exactly as expected, so that when we strung them up, things would work exactly as they needed to. And sometimes we needed to make adjustments. Sometimes we changed the angle of a ball rolling down a ramp. That would slow it down or speed it up as necessary. But this is an example of something we had to modify a little bit. Though that was modified less for speed than it was for just the car's direction. So along the way, we're making lots of course corrections. Here's a machine that we did for Disney. This one's really fast. Now, most of you probably noticed that felt a little fast. Not just that it was a short machine, but that the action happened a little faster than physics would normally allow. In fact, they sped it up. They were looking for a 15-second, they told us they needed a 20-second machine. We built them a 17-second machine so that they'd have 3 seconds for an intro and out. And then they decided to make it a 15-second machine, and they just turned up the speed, 2 seconds worth. So it feels like balls are moving faster than they should, and the things are sliding down the ramps faster. But anyway, to create this machine, to sort of sell them on the idea, we created an animatic, and I never show this, but I thought that you guys, of all people, would appreciate this. And that's how you build a Rube Goldberg machine. This was the set. You notice the skateboard. We do a lot, for some reason, of flying skateboards. In putting this talk together for you guys, I noticed that there's a lot of flying skateboards. So I thought that I'd show you guys a video of us testing one example of a flying skateboard. This is an early test that we did. Did not make it into the machine, although the mechanism, you'll notice, is pretty much the same, but just painted yellow and black. But this is how we first thought we would launch a skateboard.
I am recording.
It almost made it into traffic. So we do stupid shit. this was a project we did for Chevy. They came to us and they said, look, we're really interested in launching our new Chevy Sonic. This is our new car for the year, and we want to do something really dramatic to launch it. What do you guys got? And I said, well, if we're going to launch it, let's launch it. So I suggest we were talking to them back and forth. They were thinking we could do a building. I said, let's throw it off a 100-foot tower of shipping containers. So we built this crazy tower actually here in Long Beach. That's the parking lot of the convention center. And we put a little kiddie pool at the bottom so that it would have some place to go. It's kind of the high dive joke, right? Put it on a bungee cord, connected it to the internet, and let everybody who was watching live help push every click, moving the thing a little closer to the edge. I'll let the announcer talk about it.
On October 19th, 2011, we asked the internet to help us launch the all-new Chevy Sonic from a 110-foot platform. The launch was streamed live on letsdothis.com. To push the car, users had to click on a 4-foot cursor hand. Every digital click turned an elaborate gear system in real time and pushed the Sonic closer and closer to the edge. You could check out the launch from any angle you wanted, from gear cam to pool cam, and even from inside the Sonic itself. And while you waited for the car to drop, you would go back in time or check the click stats to see who else was pushing and from where. Within hours, more than 19,000 clicks per minute were being registered. And after 9 hours and 2.5 million clicks, this happened.
So that was the trick,
The
right?
all-new Chevy Sonic was launched.
To hit the water, but not hit the ground. Which, it's a 100-foot drop, and the water is only 3 feet deep. So you basically got a 1.5-foot plus or minus margin of error, right? And the thing about bungee cords is that the longer they sit, the less they stretch. Temperature affects their stretch. Then, of course, there are a lot of unpredictable things. We never really got to do it with the real car. So we had to do it with 1/3 the weight using dummy weights and whatever, and extrapolate. Guess whether or not it was going to work. And it was live, so we had to make sure it was going to work. So there was a lot of math. To convince Chevy that we really wanted to throw a car off without a bungee cord, okay? And so we convinced Chevy that we needed an extra car to test with. So I'm showing you something that they would not be happy with me showing you. I told them we wouldn't film this. We did film this. This is a car going off the edge with no bungee cord. If you notice, there's car alarms going off.
I get the tires.
You guys want to watch it again? All right, I do too. I gotta tell you, in person, it was even more satisfying than you can imagine. It was so delicious. It was so good. Maybe we'll watch that again when I'm done. Slide 26. Maybe we'll come back to it. So complications of this one, and there are many. Obviously, we had timing issues. That is, we needed to cover the entire distance of the track in the period of time, and we had no idea how many people were actually going to be clicking, right? It could have been 1,000, it could have been 100 million. We had no idea how many clicks we were going to get. So we had to be able to effectively dial up or down the sensitivity, like how much impact would a click have on the movement of the carriage. In the beginning, it moved a lot because we weren't getting a lot of clicks. People weren't figuring out about it. But within an hour or two of it going live on the internet, it started getting popular. So we turned down the sensitivity a little bit so that we wouldn't, throw the thing off the edge in an hour and a half. We wanted it to go until, a reasonable time in the afternoon when the sun was beautiful and we had enough attention. And so that's an important thing. So we had to, manage for time. But also the physics, and I talked about the bungee cord issue. That's just one of the many challenges of building something 100 feet in the air that has to come down gracefully and bounce around and not hit the stack of containers and not kill anybody on the ground. There's things like that. And then live streaming, of course. We had to figure out a way to, live stream the event, make the hand clickable on a video. You've got a live video image. We want to make that clickable, so we had to figure out a way to make that a hotspot and all the different buttons that were actually not buttons. They were real boxes in front that lit up that were in the video frame, but then we turned into hot link buttons in a web browser. So that level of complication certainly added to it. But it was also the fact that the thing was live. So if there was a technical issue, we had to be very wary of what we could show. Like, could we go up there and fix something if it wasn't working right? So we had to prepare for all of those things. This is another one that was another live streaming event. This was a Twitter competition. 2 universities, Florida State, I've forgotten the other one now. But 2 universities basically have a big rivalry. They have a tailgate party in advance of this big football game, and during which we tried to encourage a Twitter battle between the 2 competing universities with certain hashtags. And we had, well, you know what, I'm going to show you. Alabama. How could I forget Alabama? It really kind of does defy description. Well, we ate couches. It's days like this that I really love my job. I won't make you watch the whole rollout. So yeah, that was a thing. I'm going to show you one more. This is a project we did for Ford. They were looking to show off their EcoBoost engine, and so they came to us with a request to do sort of a Syyn Labs style video, like what would we do to sort of show off the science behind this particular engineering marvel. And we spent a lot of time learning about what made it interesting and valuable, and one of the things is that it's very powerful for its size and weight, and so we convinced them to let us deadlift the car using its own power. I'll show you how we did that. Here's that guy.
Hi, I'm Tanner Faust, Ford racing driver, and I am at Syyn Labs, which is home to a group of very unusual engineers that likes to do physics demonstrations. And Adam, what is this?
What we've done is we've taken a Ford with an EcoBoost engine, this is an Edge, and we've rigged it up in a way so that when it drives, it will actually climb all 4 wheels right off the ground.
So you're using the torque, so rotational force.
Right.
Goes through the drive shaft, through the transmission, eventually making it to the wheels to actually rotate this spool to pull. How heavy is this car?
About 4,000 pounds.
Spool, it's 2 tons up.
Yeah.
Well, don't let me get in your way.
Well, actually, Tanner, I was sort of hoping that since you're a professional driver, that you might do us the honor of driving for us today.
These cables look a little bit thin.
No, they're rated for at least 20,000 pounds.
Each.
Each.
Okay, I'll do it. My gosh. Do I get a pilot's license out of this? I'm gonna buckle up.
You should definitely buckle up.
Okay. Am I gonna have to push the gas pretty hard here?
No, nice and
All right,
gentle.
a little bit of gas, just a little bit. A little more. I can feel it. Oh my, this is
There you go.
freaking me out. Wow, that's really easy. What?
Yeah,
This is ridiculous.
there we go.
What? Good gosh. Wow.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. Can I come down now?
You can definitely come down. That's great.
I'm just gonna drag the brake.
That's it.
That is
Nice and easy.
amazing.
There you go. Perfect. Touchdown.
Wow.
Excellent.
It actually was very little throttle that it took to generate the torque to create that 2 tons of twist.
Well, the direct injection feature, the built-in turbocharger, is a really powerful car.
That was a 4,000-pound pull-up.
Yeah, that was pretty great.
Very impressed.
Well, thank you.
In the car.
Okay. Rah, 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 rah.
I mean, very impressed with you also.
Okay, thank you very much. That was totally real, by the way. There was no like exterior winches. The car actually drove itself up the thing. And if you're interested in the engineering of it afterwards, I'll happy to explain it. But yeah, a front-wheel drive car. How do you get it to keep all four wheels up at the same time? We had a whole pulley system that would, adjust so it wouldn't rotate. The car wouldn't rotate front to back, but that was pretty fun. Oh yeah, this is an alternative open. This is just me being stupid. I got a hold of the edit. Any fans of Laverne and Shirley here? Was Laverne and Shirley even on when any of you were born? Oh, it's so cute. This is what happens when you let me have an edit. So we had the pleasure of doing some work for Target about a year and a half ago. They were interested in doing something for Christmas. And they don't usually do a big Christmas thing, especially not in Manhattan, where they don't even have any stores. But they expressed some interest in doing what they called Target Wonderland. They wanted to take over. At first, it was like, oh, we'll do like 3,000 square feet in Soho. And eventually, they decided on 25,000 square feet in the Meatpacking District, which is an enormous space. I mean, just gigantic. And it went from being one installation to being many, many installations. I have a video here where I'm talking about it, so you get a sense of sort of what was installed there.
Target reached out to Syyn Labs about collaborating on a creative space that was filled with lots of opportunities for both interaction and magic and excitement and holiday cheer. We were really excited by this possibility, of course, and we started talking about what that might look like, and the back and forth with the creatives really stimulated a lot of ideas inside, and before long, Target really got excited about the idea of creating a whole Wonderland in this amazing 16,000 square foot space in the Meatpacking District. So the Wonderland experience starts when you enter the front door. And once your number is called, you step up to the front of the line, and when you flip that light switch, the lights come on, and angels sing. You move through the Mariomatic. This is a ball machine where balls get teleported. They don't just move through this machine, they move into these little boxes and get zapped from one box to another. Balls move, right through Frosty the Snowman and get turned into energy. And that energy turns into wind power, which then powers a giant paddle wheel, which pulls balls right out of the body of the machine again and plays musical instruments. But these aren't real musical instruments, these are pots and pans. And the Mariomatic is just the first stop on a really magical journey. You enter a long hallway, which is sort of the transformational moment where you're now entering Wonderland. You come in and you're faced with the giant Etch-a-Sketch. Basically, that just gets built around an 80-inch television. I'm a huge fan of remote control toys of all kinds. I feel like there isn't enough of that in the modern toy store. Our SeaWorld has both the Flying Zone and the Peppermint Raceway as their sort of primary focal points. The Flying Zone, of course, allows you to fly Millennium Falcons with light-up rings and light-up platforms so that you had goals. Target sells a really cool nightlight that's made to look like a giant Hulk fist coming out of your wall. We tore them apart. 4,000 solder joints later, it shouts out Hulk smash, and the whole tree lights up and goes crazy. And then, of course, littered throughout the space, there's switches and buttons that just do things. I've really wanted to do a plush wall where you could poke your head in from behind and you're E.T. and in amongst a whole sort of field of plush toys. Building a kids-safe Lego pirate ship of this scale is no small undertaking. We also wanted to have a ball pit surrounding it, so we had to build a giant cove around it, and then bridges coming in and out of it that allowed people to gain access to both the ship and the ball pit. The kids seem to absolutely love it. Santa calling is one of those pieces that the basic idea of being able to engage with Santa, The whole design of the system is built really around this suspended speaker that we've got. So we create kind of a private space in a public environment. Santa can hear almost everything going on. So when Santa comes up on the screen, he already knows all kinds of things about the kid, and kids love that. It's a really exciting and fun, magical moment. So it's a space that's just filled with energy and toys and whimsy and excitement and unexpected adventure.
So there were about 25,000 people who came through that over the course of the, well, I'm just going to roll it. This is just a little time lapse, I think. Oh, no. Nope, not that again. Yeah, there we go. This is just, I'll just let this roll in the background. This is, maybe it's not going to, oh, there it goes. Yeah, this is just the setup. This is a crazy installation, obviously. We were creating an entire environment, and we only had about 5 days to set up. So we built a lot of it, obviously, off-site and brought it in, but there was a lot of customization that had to happen. Mostly, and in fact, a lot of assembly. As you can see here, the ship's being assembled. The reason is that the largest door was only 36 inches wide or 40 inches wide. So no piece could be wider or taller. Well, I guess it could be 6 feet tall, but it couldn't be any wider than 36 inches or 40 inches or whatever the max was. So that made for a very interesting sort of puzzle piece kind of installation at the end. So you can see here, it's crazy. I talked briefly in the video about some of the pieces that were around the space. There were lots of buttons around the space that would just do interesting things. You'd push a button and an elephant would trumpet, or you push it again and you'd hear a lion roar, or you push it again and you get squirted in the face with a blast of air or water. You didn't know. Every time it was a different thing, and it would lock you out. So you'd hit the button and it would like take a minute for it to come back until it started flashing again, and you could hit it again. So we just didn't want people just mashing it. And so kids would, they'd push it once and it would be giggles, and their parents would be lined up ready for the next picture, and then they'd hit it again, they'd get a blast of air in the face, and they'd just, that awful, and that would be the picture. We had a lot of fun with that one. We're mean. So there were like 3 or 4 of those hidden around, and they were all at kid height. They were all down here. Instead of just being sort of adult, like push me, they're way down below, which allowed, invited really young people to come and play. So they really loved it. So managing complications. This is obviously a big piece of what we do. We're often given a blank page and say, what do you got? Or we decide either on our own or with the help of a client that we want to do something that's never been done before. Most of what we do has never been done before. And so a lot of what we do is about managing complications. Most of what you do and what you want to do is about managing complications. So I'm going to show a few more videos that sort of speak to that. This is a video we did for Google for their science fair to promote their very first one, the online science fair. So a quick word about that glow fluid, if I may. We knew we wanted something that would show up on screen. Let me start at the beginning. First of all, animals, don't work with animals. That we had like 8 mice, 4 of them got out, they were running around our place. The 4 that we had, like 2 of them wouldn't run like when we wanted them to. We kept them on alternate schedules so that like when we were shooting it would be nighttime, which is because they're nocturnal, and they saw the lights and they all went to sleep, and it was really like, what a drag. Don't work with animals. So I highly recommend you avoid it, because I'm telling you, it's just a nightmare. So that's 1. 2, obviously that was a complicated shoot because, or maybe not so obviously, but it was a complicated shoot because this was a motion controlled camera. And so it was a really beautiful, fluid move, but the problem is that Rube Goldberg machines have a tendency to operate on their own schedule. And a robotic arm operates on exactly the same schedule. And so often the 2 of them would become somewhat out of sync, and so the operator would like mash the acceleration button, which would then speed it up, and by the time it would either pass by the time we accelerated, and then it would go flying right by the action, or it would go too slow and whatever. So that was a little bit fussy, but we ended up getting that in about 11 takes, which was actually quite good. We definitely improved since our last adventure, previous adventure into Rube Goldberg machines But about that glow fluid. So we took, when we first got the glow fluid, we were really excited. Because I called up the guys who make glow fluid and I said, look, I know you make glow fluid that you put into sticks and you crack it at parties and whatever, it's good for 8 hours. I don't want 8-hour fluid that's kind of bright. I want the brightest glow fluid you can get me, and I don't care if it only lasts 20 minutes. And they're like, all right, but it's, whatever, it's crazy stuff. And I'm like, yeah, no, it's no problem. So what we did is we got some, we mixed it up the first time, and we compared it to a regular glow stick. Yeah, it's crazy bright and crazy toxic and flammable and like really noxious. It's like, the stuff that they put into glow sticks may not be toxic or whatever. This stuff came, so we got 2 5-gallon drums of the A and the B. It's 2 pieces, 2 solutions, an A and a B. You mix them together and they glow. The stuff that we ended up getting was like 50%, why am I drawing a blank? It's hydrogen peroxide, which is rocket fuel, okay? So there's that. And when we received it, it came from Mexico, because that's apparently where their factory is, because they won't work on this in the United States or something. So they shipped us this box labeled corrosive, explosive, flammable, toxic, whatever. And it came to us through UPS, which was right next door to us. We just so happened to share a fence line with the UPS shipping center. So anyway, UPS receives this package from Mexico with all this stuff going to a company that they don't really know, right? And so the Department of Homeland Security actually delivered that package. And they're like, what the is this? And who are you? And so we had to show it to them. And this was actually us showing it to them. We're like, look, it's this crazy stuff. And they were like, uh-huh. And I showed them some of our other videos. And they went, oh, all right, you're just stupid, not dangerous. So anyway, that's all right. So what were the complications associated with this? Well, first of all, of course, we wanted authenticity. We wanted it to feel, the art direction, it feels very much like a real science fair. The items that we used in it feel very much like a real science fair because they are. I mean, we played a lot with magnets and gravity, and we had a feather falling in a vacuum, and the mousetrap car and lasers, and a rocket that, by the way, got stuck in our ceiling more than once when it launched. So we did a lot of stuff that you'd find in a real science fair, the volcanoes, the mice, everything. And so that was certainly complicated. And of course, these are all things that made the creation of this video more challenging. And I think there's still a family of mice living in that space. I'm sure of it. Here's one we did for Die Hard. Again, totally authentic, no trickery, no nothing here. They wanted us to make an organ out of 24 cars, all running off of one Die Hard platinum battery.
We powered a cube of lights, a double-stack keyboard, 24 cars without batteries, and Gary Newman, all with one Die Hard platinum battery.
She gets it. That was Gary Newman's hit song "Cars." For those of you who don't remember that far back.
All that, and they all still start. Life demands Die Hard.
It's a good song. I recommend it. It's a good song. We've done a lot with organs. Actually, just recreated that without the battery. We ran it off power, but in Moscow for the science fair that they have at the Moscow Polytechnic Institute, which is sort of their Smithsonian. They had a big outdoor science fair, and they invited us to come out. And they gave us 24 automobiles, which was awesome. But the automobiles that they gave us were all Soviet-era antiques, which was really fun, like old. I didn't occur to me to put pictures in, but they're really beautiful, like old, like Politburo limousines and military vehicles, and even some of the really tiny little Zills that like fall apart if you look at them wrong. And they do. They fell apart on us, and we weren't even driving them. It was pretty amazing. This is another organ we did for a candy store in Hollywood. They wanted an organ staircase. This got really annoying before long, but for a minute it's okay. My favorite is this little girl. She's coming down the stairs. Not this one. Where is she? Doop, doop, doop. Super cute. So in order to be able to control all these things with computers, we used a lot of relay boards. In order to be able to use them, we had to make sure that we knew how to control them, and one of the ways you do that is you make them count. So we spent a lot of time watching these things count in binary. I won't bore you with the rest of that. Sometimes we're asked to do things for, like for Google, we were asked to come back and do something for them to help advertise Play, which was a new service then. It hadn't really launched yet. So we did this thing.
Suppose you buy an app on your computer to send to your smartphone. You might need a cable to transfer it from one to the other. And if you want it on your tablet, you need to transfer it again.
Those were the days.
Suppose you used Google Play.
I love this guy.
You can buy an app on your computer and send it to any of your Android devices instantly, with no cables. Because Google Play makes your apps available anywhere, so you can enjoy them everywhere. Google Play, your entertainment, all simply here.
You want to talk about math? That one made my head spin. Red Bull asked us to do a Rube Goldberg machine, but they gave us 16 acres and 11 elite athletes to play with. And so this is what we came up with. Now, some of the challenges here were kind of interesting because, you know, one of the athletes was Lolo Jones. Anyone know Lolo? Lolo's a hurdler, an Olympic hurdler, and we had her, she was going to be like second or third in our lineup because I'm thinking in my ignorance, oh, well, running hurdles, I mean, she could probably do that all day. I mean, she's an Olympic athlete, right? She'd just run them slow, right? And what I learned a lot about hurdles. I will never run hurdles, first of all. They're really high. Second of all, apparently she doesn't do hurdles very often in her training, which is something that surprised me. She will run hurdles maybe once in a week. The rest of the time she's doing all kinds of other work to get her going. And so when I said to her, look, you're like third or second or whatever you were in line, we were like a few weeks out still. And she said, oh, no, I can't do it more than maybe 5 times. Like you, and I'm like, well, okay. We start machines a lot more often than we finish them. Right? I mean, Rube Goldberg machines, you know, you always start them, they don't always finish. And so if we're gonna put her, well, let's put her at the end when we're 90% of the way done already, right? Because we'll probably run her then far less often than we'll run somebody who's at the beginning. So we had to quite literally move her section to another place in the machine in order to accommodate the reality of the fact that she can't do it in a day more often than not. And I'm sort of like, can't you just run it slower or we'll lower the hurdle? She says, no, that screws me up. Like I have to run at a certain pace. I have to cover this much distance. It's 1, 2, 3 step, and I can't, like, it'll me up if we don't do it exactly the way I do it for real. I'm like, all right, okay, you're the boss. So anyway, so we moved her to the end. Yeah, that's, I'll leave that to, let's just roll it. So that was dumb. That was really fun. That was a fun project to work on. I'm going to show you a few little behind-the-scenes videos of that one. Just demonstrate some of the pieces that we used in this. This is so the light-up segment, the light bulbs lighting up with the bowling balls, smashing them all. There was a lot going on there that was probably hard to see, and that's one of the things that I'm really proud of what we actually built, but it's probably lost on most people what's actually happening. And since I have you as a captive audience, I'm going to explain it. So basically what we did is we had this column of water that was distilled water. And distilled water doesn't conduct electricity, actually, at all. But if you add salty water to it, it'll conduct electricity absolutely beautifully. And so what we did is we immersed sets of electrodes in water at various depths that connected to each of the lights. And so when we added salty solution to the distilled water, it would actually turn on the lights in sequence from top to bottom, closing the circuits as it sort of was able to do that. And so you'll see as he adds this red fluid, each of those lights light up in sequence. He won't roll the bowling ball down, but. It's a lot less interesting than the actual video, I'll admit.
Port in slow. Yeah. Yeah, plug it in.
The suspense is killing me. It's kind of an interesting phenomenon. In fact, the first thing that it did was not just light the light bulbs, it actually closed the circuit on a vacuum cleaner, which was set to vent its exhaust to get the bowling ball moving. So it would turn on the vacuum cleaner, which would both suck and blow. It was a shop vac. And the blower would blow the bowling ball to start it going. And the vacuum side, it would fall onto a cup that would actually hold the bowling ball while it fell. So it was both, the vacuum was both pushing the ball and then controlling its descent, both happening at the same time in the video. Maybe I'll show a piece of that later. Oh, actually, I have it here. This time it's blue. So you can hear the vacuum start up. Again, the skateboards, I won't show this again. You guys want to see this again? Yeah. All right, we'll roll it again.
I am recording.
You just don't see that many rocket-powered skateboards. The world needs more rocket-powered skateboards. So some of the complications of this particular thing, obviously we had people involved in a Rube Goldberg machine, and that adds complication, both timing and how do you do human and machine interfaces that are interesting and compelling, that make sense, that don't feel contrived, that aren't dangerous, although with these group, I mean, interestingly, I'll show you a photo in a minute. Let's talk about danger in a second. Short shoot, we only had 5 hours with all the athletes. So we really had no time. I mean, this was a really tough one in terms of timing. In order to capture the action, we had more than 50 cameras. Lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of GoPros, 4 Reds, a Phantom. We had a camera up in the helicopter. We had a camera on a crane. We had a camera on the car, chase car. That caught most of the action, as you saw. But of course, we had to cut away to lots of different angles, and so there's just tons and tons and tons of extra footage. We were exhausted by the end of this one, of course, but it didn't mean that we didn't have time while we were setting up to have some fun. Crazy. So you'll notice that there isn't the backflip ramp there on that lead-in. That backflip ramp was added here. That was added the morning of. Robbie Madison, who was doing that motorcycle jump, He liked to jump over the corner of the building, and he nailed it. He just, he practiced and practiced and practiced, and he got it to the point where he was super comfortable with the backflip, which is a tricky jump, because you're jumping over the corner of a building and changing the angle on the way down. And so he got it to the point where he really loved it, and then he was just supposed to ride off and trigger the next thing. And the morning of the shoot, 3 hours before we were going to start rolling, if that, he comes to me and he says, "Look, I really want to add a backflip." Right at the end, and I went, "Okay." I'm going to tell you no. How many times do you think you're going to be able to do it? And he says, "I'll nail it every time." I said, "Okay, that's fine." So they put that mat up the first time just in case he didn't get it right, which is terrifying to me. But we've done a lot of stuff for sports. This is a quick little bit we did for ESPN, another Rube Goldberg machine. This one's really fast. This is ostensibly in an office, the Sports Center offices. I love this one. The sugar's draining out of one bag and makes the other one heavier. This was to celebrate their 2 millionth Facebook friend, I think. So this is a little bit of misdirection right here. We've got an arrow pointing toward a button, except we don't quite get there. Fake you out. I'd always wanted to do this bowling ball on trampolines. She didn't realize we were recording audio. She thought she had to be quiet, or so, I don't know. Yeah. She was really cute. That was like the third take. She was like, "Wow, that's it?" She was ready to get out of there. I think that the steps that she took from that point where we started the video right there, you see her shoes have absolutely no scuffs on them. These are brand new Louboutins. I think the steps she took to run over there to congratulate us on the win was the first step she took in those shoes. Those $800 shoes. Oh yeah, this is just a still we grabbed from the OK Go video, but I wanted to point it out because I thought you guys of all people would really appreciate this. The 3 portraits there are just 2 that we picked up on the right that we picked up at a thrift store, but the third one is actually a photograph that they gave to the bass player Tim of the band, I think it was given to the lead singer from the bass player, but the photograph is just so precious. I wanted you guys to see it. Yes, he's holding a vacuum with his shirt tied, oh so provocatively. He makes it really beautiful, whatever he does, doesn't he? Do you think? He's a pretty guy. Okay, so I have a little more time still, right? So I wanted to show you guys a little bit of the secret stuff in this video. So I'm gonna, let's see if I can do this. Can I get my mouse over there? Oh, look at that. So if I play the video, I should be able to scrub. Yes. All right, I'm gonna turn it down. All right, so now let's see. Let's do some scrubbing. So first of all, I want to just show you a few little things. You guys into this? Yeah. Okay, all right. So this is that first table that we totally replaced, right? This is the brand new table. It moves so much more slowly and deliberately than the one that I showed you that earlier video of. It's just so much more elegant. We split paths here, and then we trigger the release of that ball. So we sort of set up the next thing, which is really fun when it works right. Okay, so obviously lots of household objects. We were going to have another skateboard here, by the way, but it got cut because it was diverting attention and because it was really hard to make work right. Okay, so let me skip ahead a little bit. Let me see. Okay, obviously here, this is a tricky bit, right? In order to make, one of the things we wanted to do was play music in the middle of the song. So the song drops out and we play music here with the glasses. That's really hard. It's really hard both just objectively to keep the time right, but to start on the right moment and to end on the right moment is really, 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 really tricky. By the way, there's the shoe right there. Let me see if I can hold it. The shoe is right there in the center frame at the bottom, black. You can see the pump right there. There's a dead piano in the background. That's one of the ones that sacrificed its life. After getting dropped about, 35 or 40 times, it started falling apart. We'd screw gun it back together again, but eventually it was just nothing but screws and broken wood. So we had to chuck it. There's the shark. The shark made it, in fact. He didn't jump, really, but he made it into the shopping cart. So here we have like the sunrise, the angel ascends, and the sun rises, and the birds pop out, the flowers pop out. Those are all things that are really hard to catch in that moment. It just moves really fast. And here is actually a bird's nest flying. It's right behind Dan's head there. And you can see the bird's nest is flying now. It used to have in it a giant ostrich egg that was taken from my parents. The band came over for like Thanksgiving dinner or something, whatever, and we shot a couple preview videos, just sort of demos, like sort of teasers about the video that it was coming out. And they were holding this egg in the video and just talking about whatever. And somehow the egg ended up in the video. And they, after being sort of thrown down the zip line about 85 times, at some point along the way, it gave up the ghost. It just broke. And so there are pieces of the egg in there, but it's, whatever, it's just an ostrich egg. All right, so let me skip. This, I think, is my favorite piece. So this, the rainbow flags are all mouse traps, rat traps, really. We disabled half the spring because they were too strong. They were whacking people in the head. I mean, they were whacking people in the head anyway, but they were really hurting people. So, and the setup on this is really tricky because each one sets off the next. So if one goes, it's like, and if you're in the way, you're just going to get smacked. So we had people whose job it was to sit there with yardsticks or broomsticks and basically stay there and hold so that in case they all go off, they just go off into the broomsticks and they don't whack the person who's got their head right there, setting them up. So that was one of the more time-consuming resets. That and the dominoes. The dominoes at the very beginning were very time-consuming, which is good. Like I say, you want to put the stuff that fails often or that takes time at the front. Why do you want the stuff that fails often at the front? Because you don't want to go all the way through the machine and have it fail at the end. You want the reliable stuff at the end. Because if you get halfway, you want to make it, right? You don't want to have to start all over again. If for no other reason than because a 10-minute reset, because you only went halfway, or a third of the way, or part of the way, is a lot more preferable than an hour-long reset, which is what it takes if you get to the end. And you only have so many of those in a day. All right. So, let's see. I love the timing on this. This may be one of my favorite sort of timing sequences. It's so good here. I love the way it hits on the beats. That was really hard. And of course, that's their treadmills video. You guys recognize that. So the idea was we were looking to smash the record. This had 25 or 30 million views. The treadmills video at the time that we did this one, and we're like, we're totally going to smash that. So we decided we were going to smash it. And we did. By the way, we beat it, but it took us a little while. So that's TV's getting smashed, and you can see immediately behind it, behind Dan here, there's a whole stack of dead TVs. Those are the ones that gave up their lives. We didn't have to kill that many, of course, because this was near the end. Once we got to this point, we had a really good shot of finishing. Okay, so we did 2 globes. One here is on the scissors. That's slowly widening to allow the globe to slide, to roll down. This one triggers. Now, okay, here's where things get interesting. All right, so you see behind Damien, there's a giant stack of cardboard boxes. That's there for a couple of reasons. One, it's hiding the stuff that we don't want you to see yet. But it's also giving him something to smash into. So it serves a dual purpose. We didn't need it to be as high as it was. In fact, I preferred it to be one stack of boxes lower, but Damien really liked the height. And so we did it at that height. The one thing we didn't anticipate was that at that height, it made it high enough so that the arc of them falling as he busts through them, as he slides down his zip line, accelerated by bungee cords, was that those boxes would have a tendency to fall onto the track of the barrel, which comes up later, the barrel that then triggers the car and so forth. So we had a PA stationed to run out and remove any boxes that fall onto the track, because it happened once, and we're like, okay, this is your job. So if you look here, right here, lower right-hand corner, there's our guy. And he's only there, I don't even know if I can scrub, there's like, he's gone, there he is, and then he's gone again. So he's really just there for just a blink of an eye. And in fact, what happened was, you can see the boxes. Now pay attention to the boxes as I scrub slow. You see there's a box that is headed right toward the track. And you can see it bounces once, and then it's going to roll. The one, you see the one? Let me see if I can, I got my laser pointer. So it's this guy right here. That's going to end up on the track. There it goes. Oh, maybe it's not going to, oh no, it's going. There it goes. And it's going to land on the track. Okay. So now what happens? Well, we're playing the music for the band to sing along, but it's not loud enough that they can't hear us shouting instructions, and we are shouting instructions. And somebody goes, box on the track. Okay, so now here's what happens. I want you to watch Dan, the guy in green. He totally stops singing because he thinks it's a dead take. Yeah, that he stopped singing. He noticed it. So he notices it. Here, let me see if I can do this right. So you're going to watch him stop singing. His buddy, Andy, is going to keep singing, however, because Andy doesn't stop for anything, thank God. While our intern runs out. Like as soon as somebody calls box on track, he goes hauling ass out there and he grabs that box. I don't know what he does with the box. I don't know where he goes when he's done with the box, but he disappears. Like watch, so two things. I want you to watch Dan stop singing. And then I defy you to find where this PA went. I think he disappeared. He like puff of smoke. I don't know what happened to him. Oh, box on track. Oh, what do we do? Where's the guy? He's gone. Totally amazing. All right. So there's that. What's that? I think he might be in the box. I think you might be right. I think he's in the box. It's entirely possible. I mean, if I scrub back, it's possible that he's in that box because there's a box here that could be him. Like that one? Maybe he's under it. I don't know where he went, but it's a miracle. Anyway, he did a job and it worked, so I have no complaints. Okay, so we screwed with this, so zip. Okay, so now here's something else that happened that was totally unexpected. Like this was kind of the take from hell, but it managed to work. So here's this blue barrel at the very top of your screen. This is a 55-gallon oil drum, or whatever drum. It's a drum. And this drum is hanging, for some reason, it's on a rope, right? And it's hanging sort of with its top or bottom end facing us for some reason today, or this time. Normally, for some reason, it would hang the other way, where its side would be toward us. So it would be rotated 90 degrees side on to us, okay? This isn't terribly important. We didn't think it was an issue. But it turns out that it is important, because this time when it landed, it didn't roll off to the left like it had in every test and every time we'd done this. It rolled off to the right, but in a way that the cameraman didn't see it happening. And he actually ended up tripping over the barrel. And you can see, now that I'm showing this to you, you'll never not see it, that the cameraman is actually navigating, and he's, by the way, 5'6", carrying 70 pounds of gear. Okay, he's carrying a Steadicam and the craziest collection of battery packs and what's on his body, and he manages to hop over this rolling 55-gallon drum that's got it out for him and save the shot and the cameras and the day. So check this out. Watch this now. Pay attention to the blue barrel. And then, whoa! Did you see it? Yeah. One more, just to make sure. I mean, that barrel was out to kill him. There's no doubt. Anyway. So that's a crazy. I was standing behind the wall when that happened. When we set up the second day, you know, they were covered in paint intentionally to start with. We wanted it to look like we'd been doing it all day. And the idea of them being clean before we did this sort of struck us all as weird. Like, if they've been doing it all day, like, why would they be clean? Like, this is something they just do over and over and over again. It's sort of like the idea of a Rube Goldberg machine, of course, is it's totally self-destructive and it doesn't rerun on its own, but the pretense, to some degree, is that they've been doing this all day and that they just do it over and over again. So we wanted them to be dirty. That's why they started covered in paint. And it's sort of like, why are they covered in paint? And now you find out at the end. So it's sort of a reveal. It's a little foreshadowing. It's a fun storytelling thing. But so in order to get started each day, first thing you do, put them in the white jumpsuits and hit them with paint. Between the first and the second day, however, the paint that was sitting in the tubes all night, in one case, in the case of the red, for some reason the red was thicker than the rest. It got like chunky. And so the first day, the first thing in the day, the morning of, we shot everybody. Tim is in red. Tim got hit with the biggest clump of like red paint and almost like and broke his nose. I mean, like we had to like stop for half an hour and Tim was okay, his eyes were watering. And I'm like, oh my God, I've just killed the bass player. Fortunately, he didn't die. But that was, you know, one of the many things you have to think about. Anyway, so I'm going to talk a little bit about the 3 C's that we use to think about these things. Connect. Connect is important on a couple different levels. Obviously, we're trying to connect with our audience. That's really important. To be able to tell a really good story, you have to connect with them, meet people where they are, show them something that they're not expecting to see, because that's what keeps people interested. But it's also for us, you know, connecting is really important because we do a lot of very different things, and we use a lot of very different people when we do different things. And so I have an enormous Rolodex of really interesting, talented people who do a lot of really interesting and specialized things. And so for me, those connections are really important. Communicate, obviously, in order to be able to build something of the complication of a lot of these things, communication is absolutely essential. In between team members, top down, with the client, whatever direction it's going, communication is essential. And of course, collaboration, right? This is very much a team effort, everything that we do. I mean, I'm a big fan of a lot of the things that we do as just concepts, and so I love them very much, but I couldn't do what we do without working in a big group of really talented professionals. But there's really a 4th C. The 4th C is celebration. You can't forget to celebrate your achievements. This is me getting hit in the face after we were done. That's a really fun shot. This was the sort of team leads who helped to make this happen. Really extraordinary individuals who gave their soul to make this thing happen. Sometimes your celebrations take place in unusual places and unusual times. This is obviously Times Square. Sometimes it's just 1,000 ping pong balls in the face. That's a happy video. I'm going to do that again. Okay, so quick lessons. For us, it's about exploration. You know, we're always trying to figure out new ways to do things. I'm constantly thinking about different types of interactions, whether they're electronic or musical or physical, even between humans. How can we extend that sense of wonder and awe to other types of interaction? We believe in keeping your eyes open because the world is an extraordinary place. There's always something to play with. Be willing to make mistakes because you're going to anyway. This is kind of key for us. We sort of stumble around in the dark often trying to figure out what's going to solve our next problem, how we're going to solve our next problem. We have to be willing to make mistakes, and we have to be able to enjoy that process. Small stuff stinks. That has a lot of value and a lot of different levels. The most obvious for us, the most sort of surface level meaning of that is that small stuff, be it dominoes or little balls on tracks, are really hard. They're frustrating. They're unreliable in timing. They can be affected by dust or dirt or temperature or humidity. But they're incredibly important. You know, that video started really small. It started with dominoes and it ended with cars and ovens falling from the ceiling and, you know, 55-gallon drums trying to kill our cameraman. So you have to start small in order to grow big, and that's the crescendo of things. But the small stuff, that is the details, sometimes it's the nagging little things, are really annoying, but they're essential. And focus is the ability to say no. You know, it looks kind of like when you look at our work that there's like we're just throwing shit at the wall or on the refrigerator and seeing what sticks, and lots of stuff sticks, and we spend a lot of time doing the wrong thing. We try really hard to reject the ideas that are going to take us down the wrong path quickly. It's hard sometimes, though, to get rid of those things because they're your babies, just like everything else. You know, so you get in your head an idea that's supposed to work a certain way, and sometimes it just doesn't, and you have to be able to say no. And that focus, that's sort of applicable of a lot of things in life. You know, that you really have to be willing to focus on the things that are important to you, that are important to your mission, that are important to your goal, in order to be able to accomplish what it is you're trying to accomplish without distraction. So those are sort of my making of rules. They're certainly applicable for making a project. They're applicable for making a company. They're applicable for making a life. And of course, it's important to remind ourselves that this too shall pass. This is a photo that I took of myself. I'm in a swimming pool with an umbrella in a rainstorm. Because why not? Anyway, that's all I have, but I have obviously time for questions. So thank you very much. Oh, by the way, I do have a little interactive thing, but I don't know if you think you want to try? Okay. So let's take a minute. I'm going to turn this down. I'm going to turn down the master so I don't blind. Yeah, oh yeah. So we're going to, hello? Okay. So we're going to, here we go. We're going to pass around laser pointers. Oh, there's more. Ooh. We're going to give everybody a laser pointer because we got a little game we're going to play while I got you captive. But while we do that, while Kevin, the extraordinary Kevin, sets up, please don't hit your presenter with a laser pointer. That's the one thing I ask. I like my eyes. I'd like to keep them. So this is laser music. I'm going to leave that up as a target. Let's give Kevin a few minutes to set everything up. And in the no, please don't point. I mean, point the lasers wherever you want, but please don't point them at the screen for just a minute. I want to make sure that we get everything calibrated before Kevin does it. Before we do it. Should I turn that down? Oh, you got it. Okay, so before we begin this little experiment, has anyone any questions? I'm happy to answer any questions. Anybody? Yes, Steve. So the question is, were all the takes handheld camera? No. Hey guys, no lasers on the target yet. Oh, that was you. All right, that was Kevin. Kevin's allowed. You're not allowed. So the answers the questions were all the takes done with a handheld camera. In fact, very few of them were done with handheld cameras. The OK Go video was done with a Steadicam, which was absolutely essential because there was no actual way to get from the top floor to the lower floor. That sort of elevator sequence with the water during the bridge of the song was only achievable, because we lowered the cameraman in an elevator of our own making using ropes and a guy who does ropes for a living. I mean, we quite literally lowered him the way you would lower a sack of potatoes off the side of a cliff. And it worked, but it couldn't have been done with any other means of camera. And to keep it steady and fluid, a Steadicam was the right choice. But the poor guy, 85 takes, every time we went downstairs, he had to schlep that 70 pounds of gear back up fortunately he had a guy, he'd handle a lot of it too, and they would share the load, but he had to go back up and down those stairs and navigate the entire thing carrying that 70 pounds. So he was a pretty amazing guy. Mick, I'll never forget him. He really did. do a Herculean job. The Red Bull was done with a crane arm, a camera on a crane on a car. And so the car could navigate around and swing around the camera as it needed to. The Google Science Fair one was done with a motion control camera rig. So it's basically a robotic camera arm. And so we've worked with all kinds of different methods. The Sports Center one at the end was also a robotic camera rig. I mean, a Steadicam. So yeah, we've done a lot of different work like that. Anyone else? Yes?
How much was a toxic glow fluid?
Toxic glow fluid was about $1,200 or $1,400
For how much?
for 10 gallons. You thinking about having a party? Did I forget to mention that it was toxic, explosive, and flammable?
We already work with all that kind of stuff.
Oh, fine. All right, great.
We're used to it.
Yeah, it's not cheap. Yes, in the back. So the question is, how much of what we do is software-based? Very little of Rube Goldberg machine design is software-based. We'll do, sort of napkin sketches of what we're thinking. Sometimes we'll do storyboards if we have a client who's, looking to do an ambitious thing. Our design process will be that we'll go through a design phase where we'll build them a machine sort of somewhat virtually using a design, software, but it's usually just PDFs, pictures and sketches, to sort of figure out if we're in the right ballpark of what they're trying to achieve. But there's no we're not doing any physics-based rendering or animation to see how it would all work. That's all really just trial and error. And ultimately, it wouldn't help us much because Mother Nature is really the ultimate arbiter. And she is a very cruel mistress, and software I don't think would help us much. But on the other hand, we do stuff that has software components, like the Chevy, bungee drop. That was it. The bungee drop does obviously have some software component, the interface to the internet. In order for us to count the clicks and then transfer those clicks into motion of the car toward the edge. That was definitely software based, and it's all custom, generally. Yeah, that answer your question? Yeah. Anyone else? No? You guys all want to get to the laser music. This is what happens when you show people a toy. They can't forget. All right. So I'm going to show you first. Please hold your lasers just for a second, because it's important that you understand what's going on here. There is some magic here. All right. You ready? Okay. I'm going to be green. All right. So here's the way this works. The closer you get to the center, the more accurate the pitch is.
You need a red one.
I need a red one?
Yeah.
It only works with red?
Yeah.
Oh. You got a red one? Oh, look at this. Okay, you understand? But the goal of this game is for everybody to try to get as close to the center as possible so we can create an accurate tone. And then we'll get to level 2. This is just level 1. All right. The problem is there's, 50 of you in the room, and you all have red laser pointers. So good luck trying to figure out which is your dot. That's the first challenge. Okay, so you're going to be all out here. You're going to go, oh, this is me. No, that's not you. That's somebody else. So go ahead and try to hit the center. Everybody go. Right? It's not so easy. You'll hear the tone come together when you hit it right. Come on, can you do it? Some of you are dead on. Some of you are just goofing around. So stop goofing around. Come on. Here we go. Here we go. All right, a few of you are just goofing around, so you're going to goof. That's fine. Don't think I can't see you if you're goofing around. All right, you ready? All right, lasers off. All right, you ready for level 2? All right. Here we go, level 2. Wait. Shh. Calm, everybody calm. All right, so this is 4 different notes. The goal here is to create a C7th chord. I'm going to do this alone. Please let me do this alone. Here we go. You ready? All right. Here we go. So if I'm off a little bit, you hear how it sounds different depending on how close I am to the dot. The goal is everybody's inside the. What's going on? Is this maybe I'm coming at it the wrong angle. Hang on. No, yeah, you do it. You're recording though. All right, so you get the idea. All right, so now you've got four different targets. Is it the light? Is it? It will work?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right, here we go, guys. You ready to do this? Lasers on. Just try to get it in one. Just pick one. Here we go. That's it. We're so close. All right. I'm declaring victory. All right, lasers off. Thank you all for helping me with this most ridiculous experiment. That was fun. Thank you all very much. If you have any other questions, I'm happy to answer them. Otherwise, thank you. Thank you, Kevin. Kevin, everybody, for developing the laser.